Hi, welcome to another episode. Please hit the subscribe button, and please don't forget to like and comment. Now let's begin. The IDF on Sunday unveiled its military moves and intelligence process, which led to revealing Hamas's 55-meter-long tunnel at Al-Shifa hospital. According to the IDF, close to the time when they were weighing entering Al-Shifa, there was Shin Bet and IDF intelligence, which indicated that Hamas forces were in the Qatar facility and the MRI facility of the complex. Eventually, the IDF would find many items of terror infrastructure in many places, but the IDF Shaldig Special Forces' original mission was to get to those two facilities as quickly as possible, starting with the Qatari facility. The IDF entered the complex by blowing through a side wall as opposed to the main entrance, near a booby-trapped pickup truck to get to the Qatar facility as quickly as possible. Eventually, a mix of drones and special units searching for the tunnel found a suspicious-looking small covered structure. The IDF destroyed the structure with a D9 bulldozer, and only after destroying it were they able to detect the hidden top of the tunnel. Once it found the tunnel, it used various technologies to inspect the tunnel, finding it had a long spiral stairwell. Eventually, they arrived deep into the tunnel and were stopped by thick, reinforced doors. The IDF was working on a plan to breach the doors to continue to follow the tunnel, either to other tunnels or out into open areas. IDF intelligence estimates that Hamas battalion commanders used such tunnels from Al-Shifa's strategic location and large size to easily maneuver between different neighborhoods and fronts without the IDF being able to track them from the air. Further intelligence estimates indicate that other tunnels are likely to be found shortly. The IDF also gave a more exact distance of 50 to 100 meters from Al-Shifa for its location of the bodies of multiple Israelis taken by Hamas on October 7th, whose remains have been brought back to Israel. It was unclear how long the IDF would remain in control of Al-Shifa and would continue to uncover aspects of Hamas's use of the area for terror purposes. But if in the first 24 hours of the operation, the IDF was considering wrapping up the inspections within days, it seems now that the IDF will take much longer to continue to meticulously uncover all Hamas connections to the area. Gaza's hospitals have played a central role in the dueling narratives surrounding the war. Hospitals enjoy special protected status under the international laws of war, but they can lose that status if they are used for military purposes. Israel has long claimed that Hamas uses hospitals, schools, and residential neighborhoods as human shields. In particular, it says Hamas has hidden command centers and bunkers underneath the sprawling grounds of Shifa. The United States says its own intelligence corroborates those claims. Hamas denies the allegations. Israel says other hospitals are similarly used for military purposes. It has ordered the evacuations of a number of Gaza hospitals, including Shifa, as it presses ahead with its ground operation against Hamas. The UN and other international organizations say these evacuations have endangered patients and overwhelmed the remaining hospitals in the besieged territory. With Israel already facing mounting international criticism of its offensive, a failure to uncover a significant Hamas presence could step up the pressure to halt the operation. Israel has vowed to press ahead until it destroys Hamas. The Israeli military has released videos showing AK-47, ammunition, and other military equipment it said was found in the hospital's MRI unit. It also said it discovered a Toyota pickup truck filled with weapons in a hospital garage. The vehicle appears to be the same type of truck used by Hamas militants during the October 7th incursion. On Sunday, it released a video of a 55-meter tunnel in a hospital courtyard. The underground structure was heavily fortified and led to a blast-proof door with an opening that Israel says was meant to be used by Hamas snipers. It also released security camera images of Hamas militants escorting what Israel said were two hostages, one from Thailand, the other from Nepal, who were seized in the October 7th cross-border attack. One video showed a group of men forcefully dragging their hostage through the hospital's main entrance and down a hallway. The other showed a group of men, including at least one gunman, pushing a motionless man on a stretcher in a hallway. Hospital workers could be seen in both videos looking on. The videos had timestamps from the morning of October 7th, matching the time of the attack. However, the faces of the two purported hostages were blurred, making it difficult to verify the authenticity of the videos. The army also released photos of what it said were two military jeeps stolen from the Israeli military. The photos showed the jeeps parked in the hospital complex on the morning of the attack. By now, the truth is clear. Hamas wages war from hospitals, wages terror from hospitals, said the Israeli military's chief spokesman, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari. Everyone who cares about the future of humanity must condemn Hamas. Hamas played down the images, saying it had been offering the men in its custody medical treatment. We put our fighters at risk to guarantee the injured prisoners the best treatment possible in the Gaza Strip's hospitals, the militant group said in a statement. Osama Hamdan, a top Hamas leader based in Beirut, acknowledged that Israel could find a tunnel here or there. We don't deny there are hundreds of kilometers of tunnels in and around Gaza, he told a news conference. But he said Hamas does not use hospitals for militant activities. So what has Israel not found? Israel has not said where the Shifa tunnel leads to or given specifics on what it was used for. It also has not yet provided anything close to the images of underground bunkers and conference rooms it showed in that October 27th illustration. Hamdan, the Hamas leader, mocked the Israeli discoveries so far. The Israelis said there was a command and control center, which means that the matter is greater than just a tunnel, he said. Israeli military officials say those initial illustrations were conceptual and not meant to be taken literally. They have also promised many more discoveries as troops continue the painstaking task of scouring a complex spread out over more than 10 acres. It's going to take time, said Lieutenant Colonel Richard Hecht, another military spokesman. IDF Intelligence Unit 504, on Monday, disclosed its critical involvement in helping learn about Hamas's abuse of Gazan hospitals, specifically and in helping IDF ground forces be effective in Gaza more broadly. So, what is the difference between its role and that of the Shin Bet, Israel's security agency, and the Mossad? The IDF has always been the juggernaut historically, and all of its arms, including human spying, were large and had a tremendous impact on Israel's ability to attack and defend. After the 1973 Yom Kippur war disaster, in which IDF intelligence took the lead for the blame in failing to foresee that Egypt and Syria would launch a surprise attack on Israel, the government started to empower the much smaller Shin Bet and Mossad. The idea was that more voices with more analytical and intelligence-gathering tools were needed, so that even if one agency missed a large threat because of groupthink and being stuck in obsolete assumptions, one of the other agencies would think differently and catch the threat. IDF soldiers are seen working as part of the Israeli military's Gaza Battlefield Intelligence Collection Unit. For decades, or at least until October 7th, this probably worked well, encouraging more debate and diverse views among Israeli intelligence agencies. At one point, these changes meant that both Mossad and the Shin Bet were heavily involved in Lebanon, even as Unit 504 had been deeply involved in Lebanon for a long time. At a later point, however, the Mossad became more focused on Iran and international terrorism. Like we see, at some point, the Shin Bet developed a greater expertise in Gaza. What all of this meant was that, at some point, Unit 504 took larger responsibility for Lebanon, while the Mossad, which always was supposed to have a more global focus, left Lebanon more to Unit 504. As it became more focused on Lebanon, Unit 504 left more of the human spying work in Gaza to the Shin Bet, even if IDF intelligence continued to use a variety of technological and aerial surveillance tools to gather intelligence. On Monday, Unit 504 announced that this change had been reversed. As soon as the terrorist attack on October 7th hit, Unit 504 built a makeshift southern headquarters, doubled the size of its ranks, and reinvested deeply into Gaza. This means that Unit 504 might question many arrested Palestinian terrorists or sympathetic Palestinian civilians with little to no preparation on the front lines in an effort to help troops on the same block advance the next few blocks while avoiding ambushes and booby traps. In contrast, the Shin Bet is more likely to spend a longer period of time recruiting sources, and it is more likely to interrogate detainees at its secure facilities to acquire bigger-picture strategic information. Thanks for watching, and see you again in another episode of World Formatics.